Easterlin in his review included 29 surveys from 19 countries. Participants in these surveys responded to a question that asked to rate one's happiness on a scale from very happy, fairly, or pretty happy to not very happy. Or participants were asked to rate their happiness on Contrail's self-anchoring striving scale, where one determines what constitutes the absolute worst and best states imaginable, and subsequently rates one's current state on this scale. Although most economists do not like self-reported measures much, the self-reported happiness measures generally show reassuringly high correlation with similar assessment by peers and psychologists. This table shows Easterlin's first finding, that self-reported happiness rises with income in the United States in 1970. Participants in the highest income category were about twice as likely to rate their happiness as very happy. And also in the third column, we see the share of not very happy decrease with income. The following scatter plot from Easterlin illustrates that the average self-reported happiness by country does not respond much to average income. Here, Easterlin combined different studies that had used the earlier mentioned Cantrell self-anchoring scale. Easterlin showed the limited responsiveness of aggregate happiness to income growth over time with the help of tables. Instead, here I decided to include the more recent graph from Victor, his book, Managing Without Growth, from page 126. The graph shows that US income per head of the population has more than doubled between 1945 and 2005, but that the percentage of people that reports being very happy has hardly increased over the same period. The two main explanations for Easterlin's paradox are that people seem to derive utility from their income relative to some relevant peers. However, rising incomes cannot satisfy the desire for status collectively, providing an explanation for as to why we see increasing happiness with income, but fail to do so over time and across countries. A second explanation for the paradox is that of hedonic adaptation. Here, the idea is that one may enjoy an increase in income temporarily, but that happiness returns to some baseline life satisfaction once one becomes accustomed to the no longer so new high income. Also for Easterlin, his results with respect to the limited responsiveness of happiness to income across different countries, there have been numerous replication studies. Here we see a graph from Engelhardt and colleagues that suggests some logarithmic relationship between a similar social well-being index and GDP per capita 5 years prior to the survey. Unlike Easterlin, this figure does suggest a relationship, but also suggests that other covariates may play a role. Let us return to the interview with Easterlin for a moment.